There was a woman who was very distraught about her position in life, and she felt like she wasn't really accomplishing as much as she could, to the point where she allowed those external influences to affect the internal. Her joy was taken away by her permission, with her permission rather. So much so that her friends and family really couldn't do anything to help her get out of the conundrum, the quandary she found herself in. So she felt like she had to do what a lot of people do, go to the doctor. Not for advice, but for maybe Prozac, Paxil, Zoloft. That's fine. One person said recently, people are living by pills and prayers. But that's what she was expecting. But the doctor had something else in mind. So after explaining her situation, the doctor asked her the question. The question was, when you were a little girl, what was the one thing you enjoyed the most? And she thought about it, and she said, well, I enjoyed the beach. And he said, okay. So he thought for a second, got out his prescription pad, and he wrote out 4 prescriptions. And he took those 4 prescriptions and put them into 4 separate envelopes. And he told her the next day to go to the beach. She said, I can handle that. From 9 o'clock in the morning to 6 o'clock in the evening, I'd like you to spend time at the beach. But at 9 o'clock, I'd like you to open up the first envelope, the second envelope at 12 o'clock, the third envelope at 3 o'clock, the final envelope at 6 o'clock that evening. She said, I can handle it. So she arrived at the beach. 9 o'clock came. She opened up the first envelope, and the envelope said, the prescription said just to listen. So she took that time to listen. She listened to her thoughts, her ideas. She listened to the waves, the wind, the birds, the sand underneath her feet. She began to really understand, you know what, I'm carrying a lot of things I don't have to deal with. So she started to feel a little sense of relief. Next slide. 12 o'clock came. She opened up the second envelope, and it said simply to reach back. So she took that time to reach back, and she thought about her life as a little girl, as a teenager, as a mother, a sister, a wife. She thought about why did she do the things that she did, the highs and the lows. And again, she started to feel that sense of relief, understanding that, again, I'm carrying more that I have to. Next slide. 3 o'clock came. The next envelope said just to re-examine. This 3 hours went by really quickly because she began to re-examine her motives as to why was she doing the things that she was doing. Why did I want to be a wife in the first place? Why did I want to work in the place that I'm working? Why do I choose the faith that I've chosen? She re-examined all of her motives and all the facets in her life. And then finally, 6 o'clock came. Next slide. It said to write your story. So she found a stick, and she began to write her cares and ideas and her story within the sand. And she got the point. And the point was she was carrying more than she really had to. And life is short. So you can control the things that you can, and you let go of those things that you can't. As she began to walk away, the waves started to come in, and she noticed, she looked back, what happened to her story? It was washed away. And she really got the point then that really we're here a very short period of time, and then we're washed away. So here, today, let's listen. Let's listen to our thoughts and ideas. Listen to the comments given by others. Let's also reach back. Think about when you were a child, when you were a teenager, when you were a young adult, and with admirations and drive. Think about why you're doing what you're doing. And then we'll also re-examine our motives, and then we'll begin to write our stories in the sand. And our sand turns out to be this manual. And I'm a big advocate on keeping a diary or a journal. How many of us keep a diary or journal right now? We'll talk about that very good in a little bit, but begin to write your story, and that way it gives us perspective, and it also keeps track of that 85% of that self-talk that's negative.